Lions in,
Okay. Today's the 10th.
the 10th. September.
It's a great time. And then you'll have it a few years.
Yeah, I know, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, a lot of it. I do mostly industrial arts.
I'm trying to read industrial for Central Arizona Sound. Partner of mine was doing it for.
Building it?
Buys land here on it, and then rents it out, flips it to Exeter.
Sure.
Lodges.
Lodges.
And another one. Another one.
Industrial.
Just as warehouse distribution.
Yes.
But not like a whole. Ideally 20+ acres, but in your area, it's hard to find. But maybe with the exception, it's 12 acres.
Well, Lord knows.
A small office or something. Yeah. I work on Wednesdays, Thursdays. and Fridays. I'm here all month.
Father Bride, how are you?
Test mic 1. Test mic 1. Test mic 2. Test mic 3. Test mic 3. Test mic 4. Test gooseneck. Test mic 5. Test mic 6.
What our philosophy is, we said, never have one, right? We'll just wait up and how many times did that actually Well, Mary Ann and I were not on here. That's not their role. Listen, like I said, I think either one that puts size or if we take this, I don't know how you manage that. So I've said to Mary Ann, if you want. One more. And she said, I agree, I do, I got two, it turned out good, so. I never know. He says every time you add an elevator, the dynamic changes. I always wonder that when it gets a little off. Now,
Yes, sir.
Hello, my president. Here we are.
Don't keep doing it. I'm going out to park.
No,
You're in charge. You're in charge of the. But that has your name on it.
Yeah, that's you could say, due to this character, we have a farm. Madam President, there's a farm.
I didn't remember the minute you just announced it. I know I have to ask you.
Here he is. We have a quorum.
Exactly.
We're having fun and a quorum. Can you play the trumpet when I do? And there we go. What was the name of the one?
We don't know.
Good. I don't feel bad.
Don't feel badly at all. We just.
I think that's something.
I didn't mention an executive, so don't worry about it. You know what? I gave you the
Okay.
credit, Bill. I said Bill was the chairperson. I'm reading this for Angela. I'm reading Bill's report. That's it. And I read it. It's 101.
Okay,
Lucky day.
shall I start now?
Where's Barry? You want to go get Barry?
Oh, that's good. Mhm. Barry and Bill Hanley.
We used to have like 4 of them, but I don't know where they all went, but they were different. Yeah, that would have Yeah, these are good. These are good.
Oh. Oh.
I guess that's what it's gonna be, yeah.
Do I need to wait for Barry? Okay. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Eileen.
I hope we all had a wonderful summer and welcome back. At this time, I'd like to call this meeting to order. And if we could have Nicole, the Division Officer for Communications and Public Relations, lead us in our pledge and invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The invocation. No, do that every time. May those assembled here today enjoy the many opportunities afforded by New Jersey Realtors. May we abide by the rules we have established, those of trust, fellowship, and ethics, and may we place service above self in our daily endeavors. May we always trust ourselves and our efforts to be sure they are truth, good for all concerned, of benefit to mankind, and provide peace and understanding.
Thank you. Jared. Do we have a quorum?
Eileen, there is a quorum present.
We're very formal with each other today. Everybody should have been able to download online the materials for today in our consent agenda. So at this time, I'd like to have a motion to approve our consent agenda. Second. Any discussions? Okay. William will send the vote. William, I think you're from a better angle from
She can't see. She needs the long glasses.
Everybody's saying that you don't hear the chit chat, how mean they're being to me right now. You're gonna miss me, Jared.
Doesn't even know.
Motion carried. Thank you. And at this time, Nick Manis, our treasurer, if you would please report the treasurer's report.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our membership count as of August 31st, 2019 is 55,002 members. This reflects an increase of 1,951 members over this time last year. Regarding receipts and disbursements, our income is seeing a healthy growth due to the increase in membership, as well as the additional funds received from the licensing of our forms. The 2019 budget line for the Triple Play Convention proceeds to New Jersey Realtors is $167,250. During 2019, the association has made donations to the Alabama Realtors Relief Fund for a total of $30,000. We received a grant from Freddie Mac, which is reflected in the equal opportunity line. It is being used for affordable lending programs at the local boards, as well as the presentation of Triple Play. Legal action is showing additional expenditures related to various legal cases as well. Now, I'd like a motion to approve the final financial report dated August 31, 2019.
Thank you. Motion to accept the treasurer's report. This will be a second. Any discussion? Okay. William, please send the vote. Motion carried. Thank you. So as we get into from the summer to now, we've had a slower time just with things going on. It's been a great year. I'd like to thank everybody because as they're telling me, this is my almost last meeting. And all of the presidents sitting here and all of our past presidents sitting here said, enjoy the moment. It goes by so quickly. I can't begin to tell you how fast my time has gone this last year. And it's an honor to work with all of you and serve you and getting to know all of you better. And it's really been the highlight of my career. So even though it's not the official goodbye until January, I wanted to thank all of you and say, just let you know, it's been my honor to serve with you and for you and doing what we do for the members. It's been a great year. So thank you. And I'm looking. And we really have a great leadership team coming up over the next couple of years. So we're really in a good place. So thanks again. We have a lot going on in September and October at New Jersey Realtors. Of course, in September 27th, we have our Realtor Palooza. So hopefully everybody's bought their tickets already. If you haven't, buy the tickets. They're going quickly. Very, very big event, sold out event soon. Cornhole, food trucks, educational classes, CE credits. It's going to be another great event. Jared and Doug have been practicing their cornhole. So anybody who wants to beat them, you must sign up. You have to beat them. All we hear about that they're the champions.
There is a new trophy. We have it ready, so. Oh, no. That's staying right where it is. You got to earn the
So
new one.
the trophy has to go to somebody else this year. And we have some extra treats for you and Doug for while you're playing.
Oh, good.
We do.
All right.
Yeah. So everybody sign up and tell your offices. As we said earlier, executive, you're the boots on the ground. You deliver the message. So besides what we do in all of our emails to the members, to the boards, online, please tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your boards, and let's just make it a great event. We also have the That's Who We Are, New Jersey Women in Real Estate. You've heard us talk about that. We're partnering with the Women's Council October 2nd. You've heard me say 12.5 times. It's not just for women, it's for men too. We have entrepreneurs there who will be speaking to us, women entrepreneurs, men entrepreneurs. It's going to be a great event. It's at the Galloping Hill, right off of the Parkway and by 78. There will be educational offerings as well. Charlie Oppler will be a guest speaker. We have Lee Brown, who will be a guest speaker. And again, just some very successful people in business. We felt that if we have people who are business people, entrepreneurs, not just realtors talking about how well they do in the business and why they're top producers, it's an event that you really be able to get a lot out of. So please mark your calendars and buy your tickets. They're $99 and they are online. As we know, it's been a very interesting political climate, and we are going to start election day. It is right around the corner. Make sure that you register to vote. If you haven't registered to vote, please register to vote. It is so important to get your vote out there. Every vote counts, as we've seen. And again, have your boards, send it to your members, just to make sure that everybody's registered. If you're going to the San Francisco conference and you're going earlier, you're going to have to get in a write-in form, because if you get back on San Francisco,
San Francisco, well, the election will happen a bit.
right.
Right,
So if you're leaving early,
Yeah, if you're leaving early.
do the sign-in so you could make sure that you vote before you leave. That's under new business. We have coming up in October 10th is our Realtors Leadership Program. That is an NAR program that we have every year. So if you're thinking about leadership, if you are thinking about increasing your leadership and what you need to do as leaders, it's a great day. We're having it here, and it's for anybody and everybody, whether you've been a leader of your board, your state, any of the committees that you do here. It's just a way to increase knowledge, education, and awareness. So if you'd like to sign up for it, Christy here, you can sign up with Christy Starrick. She'll give you all the opportunities and she'll give you the information. And again, please bring it back to your board, because that's what we have you here for, to carry the message. We're also running a blood drive in October, which is October 7th from 9 to 12. There's a mobile blood bank in the parking lot. I could tell you the importance of giving blood. I run a blood drive where I live twice a year, in the fall and in the spring. They need your blood, especially when there's disasters, what's going on right now, like in the Bahamas and in other parts of the country. Now more than ever, they need blood. And it gives people such a good feeling when they are able to donate. So if you can't donate for whatever reason, tell a friend, bring a friend, and we are running the blood drive October 7th. You could sign up ahead of time or just come that day. September is also Realtor Safety Month. So the National Association of Realtors has different types of social media on their website that you can download. They have different graphics and frames that you can download. Share it to your pages, get the message out there. I know tomorrow at the building, Chris is doing a Realtor Safety. And again, that's part of the Women's Council. So I'm not sure if you've signed up, if there's still availability, but be aware and be safe. There's so often that we just show up at houses because somebody calls us. Have a partner, have the buddy system, let your office know where you go, and don't go to a vacant house with somebody who you don't know, whether you're a man or a woman. Be smart about it. one possible deal is not worth our life and your safety. So it is Realtor Safety Month in September. And just be aware and tell your offices, tell your offices, tell your friend. We can't just do it ourselves with our messages, and just be aware out there. I would like to congratulate Drew Fishman, because Drew Fishman has been elected our 2020 Region 2 Regional Vice President. We have great representation with New Jersey, so thank you, Drew. Anybody see anything crazy going on out in the streets, out in the market? We were talking about things earlier. Stories, everything is good, nothing crazy. Well, I wasn't going to bring up the specific board. We talked about it at executive committee this morning. We had the, okay, so we'll go back to that. Well, they're a little bit early, the team. So if you see, everybody loves Jared Grasso. Yay, Jared.
For what?
Thank you, Jared, for being you. So we just fly by our seat of their pants here at New Jersey Realtors. So I'd like to take a moment to recognize somebody who's been a major part of our association for the last 20 years. You have a fan base out there.
Well, I do pay them, so.
I don't like getting thrown off my game, but here we go.
I didn't know anything about this.
I need the glasses for this one. So I'd like to take a moment to recognize someone who has dedicated their life's work to this association. Okay. Hi, where are they going now?
They're walking out.
You can see things are not
It's
planned.
over.
Chris, can you bring the cheering squad back outside?
They're hot.
Okay, so can our cheering squad come back? We're still in the middle of doing the presentation. You guys did a great job. So 20 years ago, this member of this staff began their journey working here in Government Affairs Department. He thought he'd be here for a few years before moving on, but there was something about the industry and business that he found passionate. He received his RCE certification and quickly moved up the ranks. He has been recognized multiple times as top policymaker in New Jersey and has been the voice of our businesses for 2 decades. Many of you sitting in this room had the pleasure of starting the journey with him. I have been starting it over the last 10 years, and most recently the last 4 to 5. I'm fortunate enough to establish a really wonderful relationship and just the pleasure of getting to know you better in my life the last few years. And I know this association would not be where it is today if it hadn't been for this dedicated and strong ethical person in his business practices. So please join me with our cheering squad in congratulating our Chief Executive Officer, Jared Grasso, for 20 years of service. I started early, but you did great.
I'm like, why are they already outside?
And here's just a token, a little memory
Oh,
of
very
your
cool.
years with us.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you.
you.
Well,
Your report. We're just going out of order
I'm not going to
now.
give my report, but I guess it's very fitting that one of my first bosses working in the New Jersey Assembly is actually in the back of the room today, Haskell Berman, who, yes. He said that he educated me and made me a better person. I think he more tortured me. I started out as an intern working for him over at the Assembly Republican office, and he did teach me a lot, and I do appreciate that, Haskell. So thank you for being here today. It's a coincidence. And as for the association, the organization itself, it's true. I had a plan. I was going to come here for a couple of years and then become a contract lobbyist, and it's because of the person, the photo behind me, Bob Ferguson, was a true mentor and a true leader who really taught me the ropes, taught me about this organization. And it's because of him and past presidents, many of whom are here today, that I really owe this career to. it's been an honor serving this organization. And what better organization can you serve than the New Jersey Realtors? So thank you for the opportunity for being your CEO. I appreciate it. It's been a great 20 years.
Well, we're very proud to have you. Thank you
Back to
again.
work.
Yes, back to work. Okay, so
Thank you, everybody.
so real fast, we started to say, Lorraine, we executive this morning, we were talking about meeting with one of our local boards. We had our diner discussions, which have been going really great this summer. So thank you for the boards who were able to meet with us. So we had our diner discussions, and at the time we didn't mention the board, but we were talking about what we learn on the field and what we learn in the industry. And we see in all of our markets, no matter where we work, no matter where we service, we hear stories, we see things that go on. However, at this one breakfast, I left really surprised over the stories that I was told that some realtors are doing out there. And the point of this is, at the end of the conversation, and we really focused on what's happening on the streets and professionalism versus even some of the services that we provide at New Jersey Realtors, because it was so prevalent in a certain area where realtors are not submitting offers, they're not allowing showings. They're doing the, I guess, coming soons, but again, pocket listings, not cooperating with other realtors. And as we were listening to these stories, we basically said, so what your biggest concern is professionalism. We talked about legislative stuff. We've talked about communications. We talked about member benefits, but at the end of the conversations, it was professionalism and what we could do to be more professional. And I said to a few of the members at breakfast, there's only so much that Jared can do and New Jersey Realtors can do, leadership can do. We're a team together. We're realtors out there working the field, working the industry. We have to get to that point to feel comfortable turning in our peers. It doesn't matter if they're within the same company in a different office, 10 different offices. I mean, talk to your brokers first. It doesn't matter what opposite ends of the table you're in. We're out there to service our consumers. We're there to service buyers. We're there to service sellers. We're not there to service our own needs as realtors. We're not there. If you're afraid to tell another on a coworker because they're doing something unethical, shame on us, because the only way they're going to learn is if we call them on the table. Call the broker, call the board, do the commission, do whatever channels are necessary, because bad behavior can't be awarded. If you're afraid that they're not going to present your offer on another listing of theirs, show your buyer another house or push them to the limit that they have to do what's right. So when I heard these stories, I was just floored that there's agents out there not practicing agency, not having fiduciary responsibilities to their clients. And I beg you as realtors, one of you, once you see it happen, take that chance, get that person. Who cares if they don't like you? They're not there to like you. You're there to service your people. And in order for us to stop this bad behavior, it takes one of us to start reporting these individuals. And once they see that there's fines implicated, there's classes implicated, hopefully it's going to stop them or they'll finally get it. So pass that message along. And it was Gloria who said that they have at their board managers meetings where they have Barry speak, they have Diane Disbrow do professional standards and other things with professionalism. It's out there. There's sources out there. So if you feel if you need to do more educational classes, I mean, reach out to others and see what they do, but we have to put a stop to it. I was just shocked. Yes, it was an eye opener. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. But again, and we are enlightened to it. So there's only so much that we could do, whether it's, having more legislative updates. There's certain things that we could do, or legal updates, I should say. But as individuals, we have to be the ones out there fighting it and not being afraid to turn in a coworker. That's what it comes down to. Because the more they keep doing it, if nobody calls them on it, it's just going to continue to happen. And again, you represent not the commission in your pocket. You represent your buyer and you represent your seller. It's not about that sale. It's about our professionalism and who we're servicing and who we're working for. And we work for our clients. So thank you. We appreciate that. So we talked about that, the blood drive. Jared, congratulations on your 20 years. Anybody have anything else that they've seen that they want to business-wise. I know the market's been up, the market's been down, and we'll go over that under old business because we have some information to give out. And again, just thank you. Thank you for allowing me to serve for you this year.
So we have a special guest in the room who I have identified one, Haskell Berman, who is the Senior Vice President of State Affairs for the Healthcare Institute of New Jersey. The reason why it's important that Haskell is here along with Dean, because I was at a state executive officers meeting a couple years ago, and we were talking about the opioid crisis. And President Chris Schluter said to me, we need to do more to help get information out there for opioid awareness. And we are the true boots on the ground, people in the streets. And it's not about us locking down the drugs, but making sure that we tell homeowners that when there's an open house, or if there's people coming through your home at any point in time, whether it's a kid's party or you name it, your own party at the house, that people will rifle through your medicine cabinets. Those prescription drugs are worth a lot of money on the street. And if there's a person who has an addiction, they will find a way to get in there and to take these, because they're just as valuable as jewelry to somebody. So fast forward, I'm in the State House one day and I run into Haskell and we're having a casual conversation. I said, hey, you know, your organization, my organization, we really should team up and try to find ways of giving information out there to our realtors. We want to help you get a positive message out there on behalf of the Healthcare Institute. And that's where we are today. We have a special speaker with us, Dean Paranakis, who is the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Healthcare Institute of New Jersey. He will tell you a bit about the Healthcare Institute, and I'm going to tell you a little something about Dean. Mr. Paranakis is a native of New Jersey. He has 2 degrees from Rutgers University, a bachelor's degree and a law degree. He has served as a member of the Rutgers Board of Governors and Board of Trustees. He began his career as an attorney with McClutter and English. And then Mr. Paranakis joined BD. What? Am I saying it wrong? Paranakis?
Went to college with him in law school.
Okay. Barry, would you like to finish the introduction? Paranakis, I'm sorry, Dean. Mr. Paranakis joined BD, which is one of the largest global medical technology companies in the world and is headquartered in New Jersey. He was Vice President of Public Policy and Corporate Secretary. Mr. Paranakis became the 3rd President and Chief Executive Officer to the Healthcare Institute of New Jersey in 2011. Please join me in welcoming Dean, please.
Much. And first of all, congratulations. 20 years is a milestone to do anything.
Thank you.
And particularly in a role, having a similar role to yours, I know how successful you've been, and I'm very proud to be part of that cohort.
Thank you very
And
much.
of course, I want to shout out to my good friend Barry Goodman, a classmate in law school and college. And of course, Barry, no stories.
Although if you press me for one,
There you go. But in any event, it's really an honor for me to be here today, come back to visit with you, because it's hard to believe that the program that we're here to recognize the Realtors for actually only started in February of this year. And when I share with you the extraordinary accomplishments that have occurred in that period of time, it's quite remarkable, and I'm sure it's very impactful. But, you know, it's interesting because this issue, I remember back, when was it when we had Angelo come speak to Hinge? It had to be 10, 12 years ago. So this goes back. I remember hearing about this for the first time 10 or 12 years ago when Angelo Valenti, the head of the Partnership for Drug-Free New Jersey, our partner organization, came and spoke to a Hinge governance group. And until he elevated our awareness of it, none of us had any real sense of this problem. And of course, it's a national problem and a really terrible challenge that we have to face. But importantly, this group, Hinge, and the Partnership for Drug-Free New Jersey got together and came up with a way that we hope will help to respond to that crisis. I'll give you a quick advertorial on Hinge. Hinge is the trade association in New Jersey for the research-based biopharmaceutical and medical technology companies. We represent 25 of them. household names that you'd all know: Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Novartis, Bristol Myers Squibb, Merck, my alma mater, BD, Becton Dickinson and Company. And so our job is to advocate on behalf of the industry here in Trenton and in Washington. My personal background actually has a resonance with what you do, because one of my portfolio responsibilities for the time I spent in the law department at BD, which was about 19 years, was I was the company's only in-house dirt lawyer. So I did all of the real estate work for the company legally, responsible for it for North America. So I really appreciate the important work that you do in terms of helping to facilitate and identify and create real estate transactions and have buyers and sellers walk away happy. And so that's why I was particularly delighted when we were able to partner with you and also to join you today. So again, it's hard to believe that it was back only in February of this year that we launched the program in this very room. What's happened since then? Well, first of all, with Christian serving as the campaign chair, you created a video and other high quality social media content, a brochure for realtors to distribute to your clients, and a continuing education curriculum on drug safety for realtors. So from the time we launched the program in February, we got immediate traction. We got extensive coverage from 6 ABC News, NJ Biz, News 12 New Jersey, 101.5 and Insider NJ. But more importantly, the program has since reached tens of thousands of realtors and residents across New Jersey with our key message about securing medicine in the home to prevent conversion. For example, during April and May alone, the campaign video had well over 100,000 distinct viewers. And my media colleague, will tell you, that's a pretty impressive turnout, right? Yep. Nearly 1,500 Facebook users clicked on the web link, and the posting elicited more than 800 reactions and shares. And impressively, your organization also distributed the entire supply of several thousand palm cards, actually, save one. So I have one right here. I don't know where we got it from, but we said we got them all. But the most important thing is, it's obvious you've all warmed to that task, you've taken to it, you've committed to it, you've gone out and you've been very successful and effective. And in fact, now we're looking at reprinting the cards not only in English, but in several other languages as well. And then Christian also presented the campaign at a New Jersey Realtors Workshop on May 20th in Ocean County, which included speakers from R.J. Barnabas Health and the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. And I'm told that your organization is exploring ways to promote and export the campaign to affairs beyond New Jersey. That's vitally important, obviously, because you're part of a national network, which is how you found out about it. And again, we're very pleased with the fact that our national trade, PhRMA, the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America, has really stepped up and supported very actively this program. So given the terrible magnitude of this problem and the abuse of other drugs nationwide, New Jersey Realtors can be very proud of this campaign and the impact that I'm confident it has had on helping to prevent further addiction and abuse. So with that, Christian, Eileen, Jared, your whole team, and the whole organization, we applaud the New Jersey Realtors for taking this initiative. And on behalf of the Healthcare Institute of New Jersey, please accept this plaque honoring the New Jersey Realtors, and I'll read from it: in recognition of leadership in preventing conversion and medicines to the Safe Home, Safe Young campaign, dated September 10th, 2011. Congratulations. Keep it up.
I'm a man of few words, so thank you. Thank you for the award. It's very nice to be honored. We're just starting this program. This program has taken off. We've got other programs planned as a result of this over the next few weeks and next month. I've gotten a lot of calls from both agents and brokers, as well as family and friends who are interested in knowing about it, because until we started bringing it to the local level, it didn't really, like you said, nobody thought about it in their own way. So it is helpful, and everything that we do on the ground for us as realtors not only enhances our reputation, but helps protect our community. So very important we do this, and I do want to quick thank you to Fran Blakely, who was instrumental helping us work on trying to get these cards. So thank you for that. Thank you, everybody.
All right, so just a couple of items I just want to bring up this time. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we will be launching our new video. Eileen and I were diligently working all summer long on our next broadcast to the membership. If you've logged onto Facebook, you'll probably see a countdown clock that the premiere is going to happen tomorrow. We found a husband and wife videography team that are fantastic. They're locally based. We hope to have a long-term contract with them, which would then go into some of our strategic planning for the years to come, where we'll be able to offer the studio space out to our local boards so that they can shoot their own videos on a monthly basis. So I hope you enjoy the next video. It's a lot more fun, I think, the video. I think the video is fun. Anybody who hasn't seen the video has said to me, they're like, I've seen this format before. Where did I see it? And then and a few people have said SNL Weekend Update. So as long as it's not, probably not, it's not that funny, but it's pretty funny. It's fun. So I hope you all enjoy it. It will premiere tomorrow. So take a look out Facebook tomorrow. Next is the Real Estate Commission. As you know, through our weekend review, Doug and I have had the opportunity and privilege to meet the new executive director, Aurelio Romero. Mr. Romero is from the Liberty Board of Realtors. He knows Joe Hondorf very well. He was very receptive to what we had to say as an industry. I think we're going to have a good long-term relationship working with Mr. Aurelio at the helm of the Real Estate Commission. He's already made several changes. His goal is to have a unified voice come out of the Real Estate Commission. I think his frustration, or the frustration that he had heard going into the role as executive director, was that one person didn't know what the other person was saying to the real estate licenses. He wanted to make sure that he had one sound voice coming out of the commission. I've already heard he's made changes from a membership perspective to communicating back to the members with a very succinct email or a message coming back to the members when there are issues put forth. Obviously, if there's something out there in the field that we need to address, please let us know as a state association. We'd be happy to bring it to Mr. Wallowell and the banking commission. Next is state budget. I'm proud to say that once again, for the 13th year in a row, there are no new taxes or fees on the real estate industry. That being said, I raised a flag of caution for next year. We're in an election year this year. Obviously, with the Assembly seats up, they weren't going to pass any new taxes or fees. Next year, the whole different ballgame. Nobody's up for election. Remain vigilant. I threw out there, listen, Airbnb is already out there talking about how great the seasonal tax is and the monies that they've generated for those municipalities that have seasonal rentals. Now, we were able to do the corrective legislation this past year where it takes the onus off of the mom and pops who do not use Airbnb or VO type services. I would not be surprised if this is all back on the table again, meaning that all the taxes are back on the table again. Next year. So remain vigilant. We will try to keep you informed. It really comes down to the governor's budget message in March. So once it makes that address, if there's anything in there, we'll that's it from that. If you hear anything before that, we'll let you know. That being said, just this morning we received a phone call of 8,000 in the state of New Jersey. As you know, that there's a big crisis going on in the water system in New York. The leadership team and I discuss possibly the New Jersey Realtors making a change to the New York water situation. We're looking to probably go to the Minimization Fund to get $10,000 to buy several pallets of water to ship behalf of the New Jersey residents to the residents of the north. We're working with the governor's office right now to arrange part two, with back to the legislation. All I could say is that you know what the bill that has been introduced will do to the industry, meaning that there will be time of sale requirements, full abatement, and that goes along with soil abatement and also water issues where they would do water testing. What we're hoping is that the new legislation will be specifically tied to the sale of housing. We would have an onus to provide information about the effects of lead, which we already do. And part two, then on the rental housing, instead of abatement, it would be encapsulation. So, which makes it better. The question becomes then, what happens with the soil and what happens with the water? So I don't have those details yet. They're going to be sent over to me sometime this afternoon or tomorrow. The staffer from the Senate has told us once we do a full review and analysis, we will meet with the sponsors over the next several weeks to see if there's any negotiation room for us. And I will report back to the leadership team, but also to the board of directors. Any questions? I just want to make a couple important deadlines that we have. We have the Circle of Excellence RPAC deadline coming up on September 27th. Please, I know a lot of people travel. Last year, we had somebody saying, well, I was in Europe, it's not fair. So we specifically put in there, September 27th by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you have to have your RPAC investment in, your $100 investment in. So we put the notice out there, no ifs, ands, or buts. If you're traveling, you're traveling. Understand it's 11:59 p.m. on the 27th. Committee selection applications are due in by October 25th by 5 p.m. Please, if you can identify individuals who you think are ready to serve on a statewide committee, please push them to apply. Let us know that you're pushing them to apply. So this way, we know we're getting a recommendation from a member of our board of directors to ensure that we give them their first choice. Because a lot of times when we're in that room, we might not know those individuals. So if you have somebody that you're highly recommending, please email it to me. Let me know. I'll make sure I pass that on to the leadership team when we start looking at all the applicants. Lastly, I want to make a couple of staff announcements. Bruce Shapiro has been promoted to Director of RPAC and Regulatory Affairs. Catherine Best has rejoined the Government Affairs staff. She's Director of Government Affairs. Remember, Doug is Vice President of Government Affairs, so they're all part of that team. And then Andrea Burgess, who is part of the membership and policy department, has moved on. Her husband got a very good job offer out in San Francisco, so we could all say hello to her when we're out there in November. But her and her husband are moving out west, and we have Sue Chinese has joined the staff here at the association. So welcome, Sue. And that being said, building update, you could hear the construction going on. I didn't know it was going to be that noisy. I would have asked them to slow down, but honestly, they're on track. We hope to utilize that space downstairs for Realtor-Palooza. Though the AV equipment will not be installed, we'll rent some AV equipment. Most of the day's bigger event will take place in that space. The finished product shall be there. The chairs will be there. Tables not yet, but it's coming along very nicely. So we're excited for the space. We're excited to be able to lease out that space moving forward. So if anybody's having big functions within the Realtor community, we'll look here at the building. And that will conclude my report. Any questions, anything that I did not cover? No? Thank you very much, and thank you for the last 20 years. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jared. And at this time, I'd like to call Barry Goodman for our legal update.
See this?
Yeah, I
I'll be
know.
longer than 20 years.
Okay.
I've been reporting to you about 3 different lawsuits that have been ongoing and just an update into all the little details with regard to them. The first one is the lawsuit against Likert, in which it's class action, in which the plaintiff is trying to declare that all of the agents, the salespeople at Likert are employees, not independent contractors for purposes of the New Jersey Wage Payment Law. I will tell you that we have filed a motion to intervene in the lawsuit, try to become a party. This case is at trial level. It's in its infancy. And that motion is scheduled to be heard by the judge this Friday. At the same time, Likert has filed a motion to dismiss the complaint, saying that as a matter of law, the real estate salespeople at Likert are independent contractors because they have an independent contractor agreement. And the New Jersey Real Estate Licensing Act allows for them to be independent contractors and other law that supports that they are independent contractors. We have supported that position, certainly in our motion to intervene, even though I'm standing to kind of push it in, we've coordinated with Likert in that regard. But we'll see what happens on Friday. A, whether the court grants the motion to dismiss the case, in which case the plaintiff may very well appeal it, and B, whether or not the court grants our motion to intervene. So stay tuned. Second case that I want to report on is a case brought by the New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce against a broker who had an agent in her office prepared BPOs. Department of Labor and Workforce took the position those BPOs had to be paid to the agent as an employee for various reasons. And quite frankly, she didn't prepare that many BPOs, the agent. So as a result, you voted to support her, Sharon Zappia, is the broker, in a fight against this, and you're paying her attorney's fees in the lawsuit. I will tell you that we filed a motion to intervene in that matter, which is for the administrative law judge at this point. The judge granted our motion to intervene, so we now have the status of a party in that particular proceeding. It's the first time we've ever been granted leave to intervene as a party in a lawsuit. So hopefully that'll set a precedent that moving forward, hopefully in the Likert case, the judge will take recognition of the fact that you can be an intervener. I will tell you that in that case, 2 weeks after we were granted the application to intervene, we filed a motion for summary judgment, saying to the judge, as a matter of law, these BPOs should be treated as payments to an independent contractor, the independent contractor agreement. The Unemployment Compensation Act specifically allows for an exemption for real estate licensees who are paid on a commission basis for such activity. And so yesterday we were supposed to get the Department of Labor and Workforce's response to our motion. We're still waiting for it. I don't know how they're going to respond, but frankly, I think we're a pretty strong position. When we had a conference call with the judge, I think the judge recognized we have a pretty strong position. Some of her comments, but you don't win it until you win it. And so we have to see what they're going to say. So that's going to continue. The third case is case Holiday City versus Carrico. This is that age-restricted community case that I've been talking about for a little while now, in which Carrico bought 2 units in an age-restricted community that he just wanted to renovate and flip. He's under 55. It's a 55 and older community. Holiday City has a rule that says not only must the occupants be 55 and older, and the law says 80% of them have to be 55 and older, but all owners have to be 55 and older. And therefore they fined him because he was younger than 55. Their Housing Act Law Against Discrimination don't provide any type of exemption for discrimination with regard to ownership. It only deals with occupancy 55, not ownership. That case, the trial judge down in Ocean County said, you know what, I'm not going to upset the apple cart. And he ruled in favor of Holiday City, saying that they could have this restriction with regard to ownership. It's now on appeal. Just yesterday, we got in a scheduling order from the appellate division that Carrico's attorney sent over to us. And we now will be filing a motion to appear as an amicus at the appellate level, supporting Carrico's position. And that's the status of the 3 cases that are ongoing at the moment. I don't know if anybody has any questions. Hearing none, turn the meeting back.
Moving right along, committee reports, our Budget and Finance Committee, Chris.
Hello again. The 2020 budget does not include a proposed increase in dues. An allocation from the $135 per member dues to the following restricted funds is included in the 2020 NJR budget for the following. NJR Education Foundation allocation will be funded at 25 cents per member. NJR Issues Mobilization Fund will be funded at $12 per member. New Jersey Coalition of Real Estate will be funded at $8 per member. Funding the Public Relations Campaign at $6 per member, and funding the New Jersey Realtors Legal Action Fund at $7 per member. Included in the 2020 budget is the continuance of funding for the following. Up to $575 for local executive officers to attend the NAR's Association Executive Institute or the New York State Association of Realtors yearly regional retreat, which offers education programs. Also, the Ultimate Forms Package, which includes e-signatures for 2020 at a cost of $4 per member, plus an additional $80,000 for the brokerage in addition. We're also transferring $50,000 for the building fund and the regional and funding for the regional town hall events to bring information and feedback to and from the members. New to the 2020 budget is attendance at the T3 Summit, setting aside monies for the NAR Presidential Inaugural of Charles Opera, and additional educational seminar offerings to help show realtor value to the members. I would like to make a motion that New Jersey Realtors annual dues and non-member assessment continue to be $135 for 2020. Any discussion on a motion? Bill? Motion carried. Thank you. No? Oh, we're not done voting yet? I couldn't tell if you were waving at me or. All right, motion carried this time. I'd like to make another motion to approve the 2020 New Jersey Realtors proposed budget as posted on August 9th, 2019. Any discussion on this motion? Okay, vote please. Motion carries. Thank you. As required under the New Jersey Realtors bylaws, Article 9, Section 3, New Jersey Realtors nominating committee report on the 2020 slate of New Jersey Realtors senior officer was circulated 30 days in advance of today's meeting. At this time, I would like to call the following motion. Motion to approve the 2020 slate of New Jersey Realtors senior officers as follows. President, Ms. Angela Sicoli. President-elect, Mr. Jeffrey Jones. First Vice President, Mr. Robert White, And Treasurer, Ms. Kathleen Moore. I need you to please leave the room. Jeff, you can leave the building. but they'll also leave the room.
Keep going.
Call you tomorrow. This is the fun part, any discussion. No, Dutch, we don't have height requirements. Okay.
Hey,
Not even here to
Chris, can
defend
I say one
himself.
thing?
Wow.
May I say one thing?
On discussion, yes.
Yeah. If I just say one thing under discussion, Angela's not here today because her mom passed away the end of last week, and today's her service. So if you would just keep her in your thoughts and your prayers, and that's why she's not here today. Thank you. That's Chris is doing the report, and she's not here.
So that was my motion, and I have a second discussion. All right, William.
Wrong one.
Going through? Working? No. Bill, can you read out the vote count, please?
Right, that's priceless. In spite of one no vote, the motion passes.
Would you like to clarify who the no vote was?
You cannot stay on as president, okay?
No immediate past president for me.
Thank you. Somebody shut out the window.
So close to each other.
We won't tell you the vote count.
It was closer than we thought it was.
Yeah, right.
Congratulations, everybody. Welcome to the team. And in addition to Robert White, it's your birthday. So happy birthday, Robert
Oh,
White.
happy birthday.
At this time, if we could have Nicole Sabaris from the Communications and Public Relations Division Officer to give us the promotion and her report.
This way?
You
that
go in that
way?
corner,
This
actually.
one?
Yeah, go in the corner. That might be better.
Your choice.
All right. So the Public Relations and Marketing Department asked the Public Relations and Marketing Committee for $250,000 for the 2020 consumer advertising campaign. This motion was approved by the committee. With this amount, they'll be able to promote using a realtor through print, social media, and website display advertisements, in addition to sponsorships with television and radio stations. Their main goal is to brand awareness and outlining the benefits of using a realtor. So the motion is for $250,000 for the 2020 fiscal year advertising campaign.
So do I have a second? Any discussion? Okay, William, send the vote, please. Don't even go there. Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you, Nicole. And if we have Robert White, our Division Officer for Operations, come up to do the strategic planning committee.
Good afternoon, everybody. So the report for the strategic plan, you guys should have all reviewed that packet. The committee got together back in May 30th. Just a little bit of background. They had put out a member survey earlier in May, and they got 671 of those surveys back. Some of the demographics in that survey were the length of membership, years active in the real estate business, whether they were a broker or an agent, their revenue, and the county for which they worked in. During the planning session, we reviewed research and emerging trends that were taking place, identified strategic focus for areas for the association. Some of them were influence New Jersey Realtors supports the property rights of consumers and business through effective governance and advocacy at the state level. Again, we looked at governance and advocacy where we can improve on those. And then how we serve New Jersey Realtors recognizes the values of the members bring to the marketplace by providing a superior experience for members. Community relations and service were other areas, technology, other areas, addressing member value proposition. One of the big things that we talked about was voice for real estate in New Jersey for consumers and we looked at communication plans to address member value, targeted specific audiences, and generating some sort of broker outreach along with the leadership strategy. Talked a lot about moving towards the broker, getting the brokers involved, broker owners, broker managers, and having them more involved to help spread the value of membership. So the strategic plan that you all have for you is increase the member service and connection. Plan will cover over the next 5 years. We updated each year as the goals and strategies evolve or are met, and if approved, the strategies is incorporated into the budget. So I'd like to adopt the 2020-2025 New Jersey Realtors Plan.
Any discussion? William, call the vote. Motion carried. Thank you. Under old business or unfinished business, we had an interesting conversation this morning in the executive committee. I started bringing up about the real estate market and if you see any shifts or changes in your market. I know in the summer we were busier than ever with many listing appointments in my market area, lots of listings. And I see that there's been a little bit of a pullback. And we kind of all talked about it, that it seems like that first time home buyer, the entry level buyer, is still out there because maybe the lack of inventory, that price point, they still seem to be selling quickly. It seems that in a lot of markets, the upper price point and the middle to upper price point seems to be sitting a little bit longer, and we've seen a little pullback in the market. And it's interesting because at the executive level, we have people from just about every county representing us, and they all had the same consensus. And then when right before we started board of directors, I was talking to Bill, I was talking to a few people here, Nicole, they're all saying the same thing. So it makes you wonder, what is the reason for a pullback? Is it taxes? Is it prices? Is it the lack of inventory? I hear a lot of different things on the street. I know where I live in my specific town, believe it or not, that $600,000 to $700,000, which might be different than some of your areas, is sitting. Nobody's looking at it. Taxes are $18,000 to $20,000. And for my area, in one particular town, that's a lot in taxes. So we were talking about it, which led to another conversation of surveys. We sent out a survey a couple of months ago, and it does the heat maps, and it was questioning the members on your area, on the market. Hopefully all of you have gotten the survey and you filled it out. If you didn't, you can go onto our website and pull it down. And it's on the Week in Review. It was sent in the last newsletter. It's really important that you fill it out and fill it out honestly. And Bob had made a good point, an executive, that sometimes as realtors, we're so programmed to tell everybody, oh yeah, the market's great. The real estate market's great. I've been busier than ever because A, we want our competitors to think they're always so busy. And B, we want the public and the economy to think, yeah, real estate's great. Why wouldn't you buy or sell now? But let's be honest within ourselves and of course the association, because it does help us determine answers such as the heat map, which I'll let Jared go into.
So we had an idea, the government affairs team, Doug and I, talking over the last several years about how do we communicate better with our politicians? Because the politicians tend to believe anything that they see in print. And they're not necessarily drilling down to actual facts and figures that we could provide to them. So what we want to do is get kind of more of the word on the street analysis of what's going on in the individual markets. So what Eileen is referring to is that we've sent out a survey, and our first survey was extremely successful. Well, we had over, right, Doug, 4,000 respondents to the first survey. Think about this. We can get 4,000 people to take action on a call to action sometimes, but we had 4,000 people respond to this survey about the market. The reason why, we come to find out, is that the Real Estate Commission happened to have a survey out in the field at the same time, and they sent notices out to the designated realtors or to the broker saying, please get your agency to take the survey. They didn't know the difference between our survey and the Real Estate Commission survey. So that actually worked out to our advantage. We have another survey out there, and in order to really make this thing work for us, and I'll tell you why we need it, in order to make this thing work is that we have to get people to respond. And Eileen is right, and Bob was right. We want to make sure people are being honest. If you're struggling and there's certain market areas, price points in your areas, we need to know why people aren't buying. And I think we all know why. The property tax. If they can afford the $500,000 house, they can't afford the $20,000 property tax bill that goes along with that house. But we have to be able to show that to the politicians. So what we created, working with Real Strategies Group, is a heat map that ties individual questions to a map of the state of New Jersey. Now, we don't have the ability to drop down the screen. It wouldn't come out that clear anyway today. But you would be able to log in, and we could direct politicians to their area. They could scroll over area, highlight a specific question, scroll over the area, and see how many people responded and what their response was. So, I mean, Doug, could you read one of the in the back there? I can't see it. Awesome. Right. Yeah, there's a property tax question towards the end. it's the rural area of the state. So that's just a quick, thank you, Doug. That's just a quick overview of the tools that we have out there for not only our politicians to use, but also our agents. I mean, if you want to sit there and talk about what's going on in your market, you could utilize this information to help get information out there to people that you're working with in the field. Yes, Mary.
I didn't see that bill again. I see property taxes, which is a huge issue, but what about the salt?
Salt deduction. Go ahead, Doug.
So salt, obviously, we all believe that salt has had a major impact on our. However, we're just getting the tax return finalized on the tax return. Because salt is actually. The first tax return that came in for the fiscal year. We're not going to see a real that probably next year that shows.
Right.
Knows that regular market, that's why.
Right.
But again, it's going to come back.
So the answer, Mary, is yes. When we were in the field with the last survey, it was too soon. We'll have that moving forward, definitely. Yes, Robert. This part of the survey is live forever. We're going to keep that up. What I'm trying to push for is people to respond to the next questionnaire that's out there so that we can build upon the success of the first survey. We hope the funding for this from the Issues Mobilization Fund, we've been given approval for 3 of these surveys to be out there right now from the Issues Fund. We hope that if it's successful, that they'll give us approval moving forward for 3 more surveys and keep building upon the success of this. Yes, Gene. Yes, absolutely. Yep. There's a link on our website. I'm looking at the, yes, there's a link on our website that is available to the members. Absolutely. Any other questions? So it was a good discussion at executive, and Eileen had the idea, let's bring it to the board of directors to make sure that you see the final product, because we've talked about it here, but you haven't seen the product. So take use of it.
Sorry, did you see this? Like, again, board of directors, now that we've been, you're seeing the pullback. It's basically, so that's there, so when anyone's redundant, but when you get these surveys emailed to you, how already are. Some realtors that always read, but if you could pass it along the link, I know brokers are always looking for that. Any other unfinished or old business? Oh, yes, right, no, it's in the new business. So any other old business, unfinished business? Okay, under new business, we have a RPAC auction that I believe Chris is going to run. That's your job as immediate past president.
The Doug Thompson package.
They sucked me back in. Item number 1.
Item number 1. Thank God you told me. This is an RPAC auction item donated by the Metro Center Association of Realtors. Fine soaps and a $25 Macy's gift card. Opening bid will be $20. We have 20, so I have 25. Up at 25, I have 30. 30, I have 40. 40. I have 50. I have 50. I have 75. I have 75. We're going to keep going with this. I could be wrong, but I think you also bid 50. Then you just bid 75. Okay, I didn't see that. All right. Thank you.
His
All right.
eyesight's not very good.
Who said that? We have 75. We have 100. We have 100. We have 125. Do I have 125? Going once. Going twice. I have 125. I have 150. Do I have $150? 25. Going once. Going twice. Sold. This RPAC auction item is donated by the Cure Association of Realtors. It is a $50 Applebee's gift card and a $50 Capital Grill gift card. Opening bid is $60. $60. 3 people at 60. 5 people up to 70. At 70. Have anybody at 100?
70.
We have 3 people at 100. How about 150? We have 150. We have 200. We have 200. We have 250. We have 250. We have 300. We have 300. We have 350. We have 350. 300 going once, going twice, sold. Thank you. All right. This RPAC auction item is donated by the Greater Bergen Realtors, and it is a Apple AirPods. AirPods combine intelligent design with breakthrough technology and crystal clear sound. AirPods feature hands-free access to Siri just using your voice, and up to 3 hours of talk time on a single charge. Face value is $145. Opening bid is 100. Do I have 100? We have it. There we go. 150. 200. Do we have 250? We have 250. Do we have 3? We have 3. 350. We have 350. Do we have 4?
Robert, do we have 4, Robert?
All right, Bob, Robert, we have 350. We have 350, Robert. Do you want? Yeah.
I don't know. 350.
950, it's all you.
And there's bidding going on behind you too, Teresa. So we have 350. Do we have 4? Yes. $350. Do we have 4? Come on. No. 350. Going once. Going twice. Happy birthday, Robert.
She's intrigued.
Thank God. This item is donated by the Monmouth Ocean Regional Realtors. It is a D-Bot N79W vacuum robot. D-Bot provides versatile cleaning solution. With its multiple cleaning modes, it cleans your floor and has a cleaning mode for every job. You can control your robot with Ecovacs home app, a remote, or a smart home system. Base value is $200. The opening bid is $300. Opening bid is $150. Do I have 150? We have 150. Do I have 200? We have 200. Do I have 250? Do we have 300? 300? 350. We have 350, Tina. 375. I give you a little bit of time. We have 375, 400. We have 375. 400, we have 400. We have 401. No, we have we have 450. Where? We have 450. We have 500. We have 500. We have 550. We have 575. We have 600.
Wow.
We have 625. 625. Do we have 650? We have 650. No. We have 650. Do we have 675? 675. We have 700. Yeah. We have 750. I'll stop twisting. Okay. Where are we at, Tina? Tina, what'd you just? Where are we at?
Where are we at? Doug?
700. Yeah, 700. Okay, we have 725. We have,
Oh, you can have it, Chris.
we have 1,001. 1,100. Now it's getting good.
Ed's really messy. She wants to clean up after.
We have 1,150. We have 1,200.
No, let them have it.
We have 1,200.
No, we are not.
Her arm is stuck.
1,200 going once. Oh, we have two at 1,200, so therefore we're at 1,250. Okay, 1,250. We have 1,300. This is the D-Bot N79W.
It's one better than the 78 though.
This is the upgraded model from the not-so D-Bot. I lost track of that.
You're at,
Literally complaining.
Tina would bid $1,800 for it.
It actually.
Tina, you bid 1,800?
She did, I think she did 1250, right? Tina, you're at 1250?
Yes. We have 1,300. Going once? Going twice? Sold. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you for your participation.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you all for your bidding. There will be at the Palooza an online auction, so if you bid at the Palooza, you will be able to leave with your product. And don't forget, because the Palooza is September 27th, and that's the same day as Circle of Excellence, up to 11:59 p.m. So yeah, we'll have online bidding, and you can leave with your product that day. Yes, thank you. Any other items under?
September 30th.
So if there's nothing else under new business, motion to adjourn. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Yes.
Nice job, Madam President.
Yay, Eileen.
Adjourned.